Like the scenic tea estates and the never-aging railway grid, cricket is another beautiful thing that the British left behind in Sri Lanka. None of Sri Lanka's traditional sports ever required such sophisticated playing areas as cricket did, and that made every single stadium a thing to behold among Sri Lankans. At present, the island nation has 7 international venues while 3 others are defunct. Let's start with the oldest of them all, the Pisara Oval. This is the 53rd test venue in the world and of course the first in Sri Lanka. It staged Sri Lanka's first test against England in 1982 and Sri Lanka's first test win in 1985. It also became the first venue to host a neutral test match when the Aussies played Pakistan in 2002. A marshland in Wanathamula was converted into the best ground Sri Lanka had by then. The Colombo Oval was built in 1945 and gifted to Ceylon for its whistle-stop matches. In 1977, after the death of Pakiyasothi Sarnamuttu, a civil servant who initiated the stadium, the ground was renamed in his honour. This is the only ground in Asia where the great Donald Bradman himself played competitive cricket in. Among the things that raised the eyebrows about the Pisara Oval, one thing that stands out is the female pitch doctors who you see in action. It all began with Mariamma, who was the head ground lady in 1947 and even prepared strips for the greats like Bradman, Gavaskar, Miller, Worrell and Botham. Since then, the duties have passed down generations and even today women are a part of Pisara's ground staff. The Colombo Cricket Club grounds. This is where cricket began to blend into Ceylon. The club is the oldest first-class club in Sri Lanka. The first known competitive cricket was played here by the Englishmen. The ground and the club were originally made to keep the passion for cricket of the English rulers alive. This is one of the smallest test grounds in the world and has staged 3 test matches from 1984 to 1987. This is where Brendan Kurupu scored his world record double hundred on debut. Sir Richard Hadlee seemed to have loved the ground as he picked up 10 wickets in the ground's first test and 2 years later scored an unbeaten 151 in its last test. Today the ground is defunct in the international arena but remains an active venue in first-class cricket. The Sinhalese Sports Club grounds. 3 doors up the road from CCC is the SSC. The club was founded in 1899 for the affluent Sinhalese in the country who developed a love for the sport. The club was formerly situated at Victoria Park, but in 1952 they moved to better facilities in Maitland Crescent when they bought a piece of land which was used as an aerodrome by the Allied forces during World War II. Soon the pavilion started to erupt with several sponsorships by leading businessmen and organizations in Sri Lanka. The giant scoreboard was built in the mid-70s and soon the television facilities were also set up to make the ground eligible to host international games. Sri Lanka has played 43 tests at the SSC and won 20 matches out of them against the 9 losses. The Askiria Stadium in Kandy. The stadium was built by the then principal of Trinity College, Reverend Alec Garden Fraser, in 1915 for the schoolboys at Trinity to enjoy their cricket. In 1981, Sri Lanka needed to develop the infrastructure at test venues in order to strengthen their case for test status. Then chairman of Sri Lanka Cricket, Gamini Dissanayake, who was an old Trinitian, decided to convert his school grounds into an international stadium and the ground met all the standards in just 150 days. In 1982, Australia played the hosts in Askiria, making it the second test venue of Sri Lanka. This is the only test ground which was run by a school. The ground was in business till 2007, hosting 21 tests and 6 one-day internationals, but then granted retirement to fade away back to being a prominent schools cricket venue. The De Soisa Stadium in Moratuwa. The stadium was an initiation of Albert Hildebrand Theodore de Soisa, who gifted a plot of his family land to build the stadium. A regular venue for tourists during the pre-test era, the mighty West Indians played an unofficial game here in 1979, while the first test was played in 1992 when the Aussies played the Lankans. 4 tests were played here in over a year and then the ground was retired from international cricket. The Premadasi International Cricket Stadium. The stadium was made more as a political interest of the former president of Sri Lanka, Mr. Ranasinghe Premadasa, but still served its purpose. The ground can hold up to 35,000 people. The stadium was opened in 1986 and the first ODI was played between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. The concrete bowl has since then hosted 9 tests, 129 ODIs, and 36 T20 internationals. The numbers include an ICC T20 World Cup final and an ICC World Cup semi-final. Sri Lanka has had a good track record here in tests and one-day cricket. They have 4 test wins against the 1 loss and 4 draws here. The home team have also recorded 69 wins in 111 ODIs played at the venue. But T20 internationals remain a woe for them at Khettarama with a painful 16 losses against the 4 wins in the shortest form of the game. The Galle International Cricket Stadium. 33 tests, 33,976 runs, 1,067 wickets, and cricket in the shade of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The ground was first used for cricket in the 1890s and officially announced as a cricket stadium in 1927. A turf wicket was laid in 1945 and the first-class game was held in 1984. Galle became Sri Lanka's 7th test venue in 1998 when it hosted New Zealand. 6 one-days have been played here, but the lack of stands and the square turning wicket doesn't fit the format nor T20 international cricket. And why is the venue so dear to test cricket? Well, because we have seen 27 results in 33 games there. The Rangiri Dambulla International Cricket Stadium. The main purpose of this stadium is to furnish Sri Lanka with cricket during the monsoons. This is the first and only stadium in the dry zone of the country. Doing justice to the idea, only 3 games out of the 55 one-days played here have ended without a result. The ground was built on a land that is leased from the Rangiri Dambulla temple. There were several occasions when this ground was left to starve due to lease contract discrepancies and dodgy floodlights. Since 2016 though, it served Sri Lanka cricket as a regular one-day venue. The Mahinda Rajapaksha International Cricket Stadium. This massive stadium was built for the 2011 World Cup held in Sri Lanka. The ground's isolated location and the lack of spectators in games made it a political hot topic right from its birth. It is said that if you are in the stand or the dressing room, the players look tiny on the grounds. That is how huge the ground is. It can hold up to 35,000 people. In its 9-year existence, the ground has hosted 21 ODIs and 7 T20 internationals. The Pallekele International Cricket Stadium. After putting Asgiriya to rest, Pallekele emerged to satisfy the cricket fans in the hill country. This was also another project leading up to the 2011 World Cup and has been a regular venue across all 3 formats for Sri Lanka since its inception. It is located at just a half-hour drive from Kandy. The majority of the seating facilities are grass banks here too. Pallekele has hosted 25 ODIs, 7 tests and 22 T20s in its decade-long service to Sri Lankan cricket.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for our latest content.